Every single book that I did read during 2025. At the beginning of the year, I did set a goal of 12 books, so one book per month, and I did achieve that goal and also read a couple more. I have a total of 18 books to talk to you about in this video, and I'm so very excited because I have to say I loved most of them so extremely much. So without further ado, let's just get into this year book wrapped. I started my 2025 with this book by Stephen King called You Like It Darker. Let's just stop for 1 second about this cover because it's truly amazing. But it's basically a collection of 12 stories. All of these stories, I would define them as gloomy, eerie, with a touch of paranormal activities. Very easy read and the perfect way, in my opinion, to start my year. I mean, we all know Stephen King is a master in bringing us in eerie, spooky and kind of thrilling atmospheres and situations. Of the 12 stories, I enjoyed 2 talented bastards, but also Danny Collins' Bad Dream, Rattlesnakes, and also The Answer Man. But they are all very, very interesting, very short and easy to read, so would recommend this so much. I then went into a classic book, and I'm talking about Wuthering by Emily Brontë. I enjoyed this book so very much. It basically talks about the Earnshaw family and the place they live in, Wuthering Heights. It's set in the moorland of Yorkshire, so another extremely gloomy atmosphere. It's set in the 18th century, and in this we get to know more about the family, the Earnshaw family, and mostly about Catherine and Heathcliff. I would call this a gothic novel, absolutely, and this is not a love story. I wouldn't dare to call this a love story because that's not it. What we read about Catherine and Heathcliff, in my opinion, it's a story about possession and obsession. I also found each and every character in this book extremely unlikable, self-centered and selfish. But despite me not liking the characters and how they were portrayed, I loved this one. It's so flowy. I love Emily Bronte's way of writing and describing everything that's happening. I would have loved to be able to read so many more books about her because her way of immersing you in her reality and in her story, it's definitely amazing. The third book of the year, it's a Carley Fortune book. I love Carley Fortune books. I feel like they are so easy to read, but also so funny, so light-hearted, that I was missing this one, so I grabbed it. But if I can tell you the truth, this is my least favorite of her. We get to know about Will and Fern, who meet by chance and have a whirlwind of a summer day together. They plan on meeting exactly 1 year later, but Will never shows up. Then 9 years later, they meet again, apparently by chance. The reason why I did not enjoy this book as much as I thought, or as much as I did enjoy all her other books, is because I did not feel any connection between Will and Fern. I felt like their love story was actually very forced. What I loved about this book is the way it dealt and showed how people navigate life after loss, how one's life can completely change after losing someone loved in one way or another. That's why this book is very nice and interesting, not really the love part of it. This book got 3 stars for me, but actually thinking about this, maybe I've been a bit too generous. It's a pity because I love all her books. But unfortunately, this one did not hit as much as I hoped. I then grabbed this other book called Mad Honey by Jodi Picoult and Jennifer Finney. In this book, we have Olivia, a beekeeper, whose son is accused of murdering his girlfriend. This book here, it's about acceptance, self-acceptance, but acceptance also from everyone surrounding us. Family, friend, boyfriend, girlfriend, but also strangers. It deals with extremely heavy topics like domestic violence, abuse, and self-harm, but I liked how sensible was the way in which the authors did write about this topic. I also loved so much how we get to really understand the meaning of the title, Mad Honey, while we're reading its pages. But basically, Mad Honey, it's a kind of honey that's collected by bees that fed rhododendrous flowers, which are extremely poisonous. It's basically a metaphor to show that even those relationships that do seem perfect, sweet and perfect from the outside actually can be extremely dangerous, poisonous and intoxicating. In this book you also have a lot of other very deep and important topics that are talked about, but I don't want to spoil you too much because actually you get to know everything while you read about the trial of Olivia's son. So just grab this book because it's truly an amazing read and I cannot recommend it to you enough. Just be ready because it's a very heavy one. You guys, we now have what I consider the book that I loved the most this year, and I'm talking about My Husband by Ventura. It's a wild ride of overthinking, overreacting and delusion. We follow Monday to Sunday a woman that is utterly, completely devoted and in love with her husband. You are literally catapulted in her mind. You see everything through her height, her actions. She's truly, truly obsessed with her husband. And of course, this is not healthy at all, but seeing things from her mind, her point of view, and her perspective, it's truly, truly captivating, I would say. Truly captivating. And what I also love is that, as I told you, we follow her through a week, Monday to Sunday. And what I love is that also she gives every single day of the week a color. That color is also, of course, very, very, very knitted with her husband and how her husband makes her feel during that particular day of the week. Like for her, Wednesday, it's an orange day. And talking about orange, I absolutely adored how she went on ranting for pages and pages throughout the whole story, actually, about how she hated that her husband saw her as a Clementine. They were basically having a little game with friends, and he ended up saying that she reminded him of a Clementine, and she was so extremely mad about that. She wanted to be an exotic fruit, something that her husband considered sensual, exotic, intriguing. Being called a Clementine definitely ruined her whole week. But I actually would have loved to be called a Clementine. A Clementine, it's small, it's juicy, it's handy, you can bring her everywhere, it gives you vitamins, it gives you health. So why not be in a Clementine? But you guys, believe me, this book, it's a wild ride. Wild ride. And I loved it so much. Of course, I did give this a 5-star rating, and I will be reading it very soon. We then have The Favourites by Layne Fargo. I would call this more than a love story. It's a book about decades of obsession with passion, dedication, failures. It's a story of Kate and E, worldwide star of the US skating world. We basically follow Kat and E throughout their professional and personal life as figure skating. At times, this book made me say, what? What am I reading? Is this truly happening? In these pages, there is not once in which you can just relax and enjoy their story without drama or without anything happening and changing the course of the story. We follow them through practices, through competitions, through breakups, through tears, through smiles, happiness, love, passion. And I would also call the ending of the book extremely vanilla. For what? Every other single chapter in this book was made, described, and dealt with. It made me very much more interested in the skating world and to know more about the sport, what happens, the competition. So, yeah. The next book I read, it's called Asylum by McGrath. This is the Italian version of the book that a dear friend just landed me and she was like, you need to read this one because it's truly interesting. And yes, I can confirm this book, it's so very interesting. In this book we read about Stella, the wife of the superintendent of a maximum high security psychiatric hospital. She basically takes care of the house, of the gardens, of their house, of their children, until she falls in love with an inmate of said psychiatrical hospital. And since that moment, her life, but also the life of her family, drastically changes and nothing will be the same anymore. I would call this as a very tragic tale about a woman getting obsessed, completely obsessed with someone that's a very, very bad person. I would also call this one as a gothic tale, truly about lust, obsession and desire. But the desire that's the deepest kind of desire that you cannot really give up to until it has been fully fulfilled. What I loved about this book is how it is told with the clinical detachment. Basically, you get to know about everything that's happening without really getting into the character's mind. You don't really know what they are thinking, or you don't truly know what they are thinking, but mostly you don't really know how Stella felt and approached things, because we see everything else through another narrator and we just get to know what Stella tells us. It's very interesting. It's truly a nice view inside the mind of someone that truly looks like the perfect wife, but it's actually not. Lot to unpack in this book, but it's very interesting. Also, this is set in England and it gives right away the perfect mood to really go through the pages in this. I don't know where he wants to go, my baby. Oh, okay. Okay, here. You just see his little face. He just wants to be cuddled, and that's okay. Let's cuddle him while we talk books. The next book, which I grabbed while I was in Edinburgh, I've never heard of this book before, but it was just sitting there at the bookstore looking pretty, and I grabbed it. It's called All Fours by Miranda July. Miranda July, I think. Anyway, this book. Oh my god. This book fully had me until a certain point, and then I can even tell you what happened, and I think it lost its plot completely. Very confusing book, but I guess this is what the book wants to be. Highly confusing. It's basically the story about this semi-famous artist who decided to do a cross-country journey with her car to reach New York City, but after not even half an hour driving, she just exits the highway and checks in a very non-descriptive basic motel room to to embark in a hell of a ride. I would call this a hell of a ride. It's yet another book that talks about lust, obsession, also the uncertainty of life, what we want to have from life, what we would want to have, what we lust, what we want, and what we don't want. I found myself more than once while reading thinking, what? Really? This is where the book is heading? It left me very, very confused. I don't know what to think about this book actually. I thought I was loving it, as I told you, but then things start to go downhill and I went with it. I read it all. I was like very invested in this book, but I found the ending extremely anticlimactic. Extremely anticlimactic. I was like, all of this for this ending? Yes, but I was like, let me put this book down and just go ahead with yet another read. And after this, the book that I grabbed, it's called Sandwich by Newman. This is a story about an extremely normal and easy family. In this we read about their yearly family vacation to Sandwich, Cape Cod. And just this, like this setting, it's definitely amazing, intriguing, and as soon as I discovered it was set in Cape Cod, a place I would want to visit in this very second, I grabbed it. It's basically a book about this family that every single year goes to the same house, does the same things, eat the same things. So a very routine-based trip to Cape Cod that they do have every single year of their life. It's a very introspective book in which not a lot happens, but in which you can clearly read about the fear of the time passing and things changing and people leaving, new people joining the family. I enjoyed it. It's a very nice read about the true meanings in life and what life is at the end truly about, and how families do stick together and need to stick together in every single situation in life in order to just live and be a family. You already know I told you how much I love Carley Fortune books, and here we have her latest one called One Golden Summer, which is a quintessential summer book set in dreamy Barry Bay, Ontario, Canada, with, you know, sunscreen smell, the sun that's shining, the water of the lake that's a perfect place where to just chill, lounge with a paper bag, the clicks of a camera. But then we also have Charlie Florek, which is an annoyingly handsome man with an amazing face, dreamy green eyes, and who is so flirty that you cannot resist it. It's a book that I would describe as summer dream. So between boat rides, pirogues, summer feelings, Alice truly wants to enjoy this summer to the fullest. It's a very emotional raw and real tale about summer feelings. I'm not going to tell you more about this book because it's really a very, very nice, cute story. Talking about cute stories, the next book I'm going to talk to you about, it's definitely the book that's most controversial to me, because everyone seemed to love and enjoy the book that I'm going to show you, but to me, no, I did not enjoy this book at all, or at least it's, in my opinion, not as good or as involving as wow as other books. And I'm talking about Book Lovers by Emily Henry. I know, I gave this book 2 stars out of 5, and I think I have been generous with that scoring actually. It's a cute book about love in all its different forms. It starts with a sisterly trip to Sunshine Falls in North Carolina, and while in this little town, Nora meets with, how is he called? I don't even remember his name. Charlie Lastra. They two have histories. They are arch enemies. They both work in the books world, in the literature world. They met several times, and every single time they met, things went not in the best way possible. They should be enemies, because this is an enemies to lovers book. I did not feel emotions at all, and I also feel like they were not enemies at all. 0. But they should be portrayed as enemies that do fall in love while they are both in Sunshine. Everyone and their mothers loved this book, but it was not engaging or interesting enough for me. I could not wait for it to finish because I wanted to know the ending, but I did not like this very much, unfortunately. I then grabbed a book that I've read about so much. This book was also part of Reese Witherspoon's book club. I had to read about this. It's basically a 24 hours long but simultaneously 15 years old story about Hell Bishop and her family. We read about a single summer day at Paper Palace in Cape Cod, which is her family heaven, the place where they have been going every single summer since Hell herself was a little girl. It's a book that shows you how everything, yet nothing at the same time, can change in the blink of an eye. It's a book about thinking of your life, how it would have been if different choices would have been made years and years ago. It's a very deep book. It's a very it's basically a book that deals so much with people's mind, what they think, and their deepest thought. It's a book with major triggering topics. It deals so much with trauma, with childhood trauma, and how it can truly shape and change the course of your life. It's also a book about how someone's choice can shape and influence the family life so extremely much. I enjoyed this book. It's much more heavy than I would have thought, but it truly touches some important topics of family, of not just family, but also of a person life and how much everything that happens to us shapes our way of seeing the world, of acting, and of building relationship with everyone else that surrounds us. The next book that I grabbed, it's what I would define a wicked, bizarre and unsettling tale in which reality and lucid dreaming keep on twisting together, and I'm talking about this book called Bunny by Mona Awad. It's the story of Samantha, an MFA writing student that is part of a cohort writing group with other 4 girls. These girls are all part of a group called the Bunnies. They are a very close-knitted group of friends. They just talk together, they always hug each other, they always compliment each other, they go together, they are always hugging and sharing moments together. Samantha, on the other hand, it's more of a misfit. She's edgier, she's dark, she's completely different from them. She's an outcast. But things change when she receives an invitation to join them during a meetup. The issue is that during these meetings, very strange paranormal things do happen. Samantha becomes a very important part of the group, becomes a bunny herself, but what's sure is that her life will drastically change once she's part of that group. She truly goes in a rabbit hole, and throughout the book you truly don't understand if what's happening, if what Samantha is feeling, what she's living, what she's experiencing, it's true or it's actually just a dream. And this happened from the first to the very last page of this book. I know that there is a sequel of this. I'm not sure I actually want to read more about the sequel. I think this is an amazing standalone. It's eerie, it's creepy, and I think it tells a very specific story that I'm not sure needs a sequel actually. So this is it. Next book that I grabbed, it's actually a reread. I did read this book, I would say, years ago. But then I woke up one morning and I was like, I need to read again this book from Joel Dicker called The Disappearance of Stephanie Meyer. So many things happening and so many characters involved in this plot. It's basically the story of a very quiet coastal town called Orfea, where in 1994 a quadruple homicide happens during the very first theatrical festival hosted by the city. Years and decades later, the journalist Stephanie Meyer disappears while trying to really understand what happened. It's a very intricate tale in which until the very end you're not sure of what happened and who actually killed these 4 people. I love Joel Dicker's way of writing. I love how he writes about things happening, but I also love how he describes everything. His way of writing, it's so easy but so immersive, so descriptive that it's definitely an amazing thriller. If you're into complicated stories, web of characters and situations, then I think Joel Dicker's books are truly what you need to read. The next book that I want to talk to you about is this one called Weyward by Emilia Hart, and I feel that this one together with My Husband, it's at the very top of my most beloved book of. It's a very captivating and evocative tale of 3 women, Kate, Alta and Violet, that through centuries are truly deeply connected with each other. They are all Weyward women, the Weyward women. And I love how through centuries their stories are truly deeply intertwined thanks to witchcraft, the purest power of nature, misogyny, traumatic experiences, and mostly female empowerment. We basically follow them through crucial moments in their life. We see Kate fleeing an abusive relationship. Alta in 1682 is accused of witchcraft and needs to face a child. And then in 1942 we have Violet that is trapped in social construct by her own father when she just wants to be able to live her life like her brother, studying and having a venture in her house gardens. This book truly made me feel so enraged, so sad, but at the same time so happy and so emotional about the story of these women. Truly a powerful tale, so extremely powerful that at the end you would want to read more about these women. This is a book I would love to read more about. I would love to read more about all of them, Alta, Violet and Kate, to see not just what will happen, but to know more about their lives, what they had to endure during their life, the battles, but also all the amazing things that I'm sure they conquered during their life through different centuries. Gave this book a 5 stars because it's a magical book, absolutely. And I have not heard a lot of people talk about this one when truly deserves so much more. Also, this book made me despise men so much more. Almost every single man in this story, it's truly an horrendous human being that just deserves to rot in the saddest place on earth, truly. I've also have not heard so much talks about this one when I think it's truly an evocative and emotional book that I think we should talk about much more. We're now getting at the end, you guys. I just have 3 books left to talk to you about. The first one is The God of the Woods by Liz Moore. This book, it's an extremely engaging thriller book set in the wilderness of a summer camp. An established summer camp that has been run by the same family for decades and decades. But then a girl mysteriously disappears. She is actually the daughter of the owners of said camp. And this happens years and years after the girl's brother disappeared from the exact same location. But you guys, actually, what I can say about this book is that it's much more than just a thriller. It's the story of a dysfunctional family, that's for sure. The story of a family that cares a lot about power and money and a lot less about the very important things in life. There are multiple point of views, multiple timelines that make this book extremely complex, but at the same time extremely easy to follow. I could not put this book down. I wanted to know what happened to both the girl and her brother. I wanted to know more about a lot of the characters in this story, which are a lot of characters. So I would recommend you picking this up. The ending also, to me, completely unexpected. I did not see what happening, if you know what I mean. And also, if you're not sure about this, Miss Taylor Swift, we know, was listening to the audiobook of this one during her tour last summer. So you need to really pick it up. I would love to know what she thinks about this book, because I guess she truly loved it. I then grabbed what I would call a masterpiece, and I'm talking about To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper. This is the Italian version of it, known as Il buio oltre la siepe. I don't think there is a lot that needs to be said about this book here, because it's truly a book that you read and makes you want to cry, makes you want to set the book on the floor, makes you think, makes you really think about the society we live in and how life is completely and utterly made of injustice. This book, and how despite this book, which is set in the 1930s, it's unfortunately still extremely relevant in the society that we live in a society that's so deep in injustice, inequalities and bigotries that you really want to scream. It's basically the story of a very young girl, Scout Flinch, who as a father, Atticus, is a lawyer that needs to defend a young black man that is falsely accused of raping a girl. And I think that just saying this sentence made you realize, if you didn't know about this book, what this is really about. The amazing thing is that you see the story unfolding through the eyes of an extremely young girl that has yet to be influenced by society and by people's view on other people. It's truly an emotional book. It's truly a book that makes you feel enraged. I think it's the perfect word, enraged, about what happens here, but also what happens daily in our society. It's truly, everyone should pick this up and read it and have it at home as a reminder of how much we do need to be better people, not just for the society being better, but also for us being better people. And the last book that I read this year, it's on a lighter, much lighter note, The Academy by Elin, Hilderbrand and Shelby Cunningham. I went into this book not knowing what to expect, but just that I love Elin Hilderbrand's books. And so I was like, I must read this one, this book that she did write with her own daughter. And you guys, I loved this book so much. I already know that they are writing a sequel and I cannot wait because a lot of things have been left unanswered and I really want to know what happens. I want to know what will happen to every single boy and girl in this academy, in this school. I want to know because I also know that they are planning to do, if I'm not mistaken, an adaptation, a TV show or a film, I guess a TV adaptation. I'm very curious to see how they will adapt this one. But I did not even tell you what this is about. This book is about drama, and even more drama. We basically follow a school year at Tiffin Academy, a New England dreamy academy, basically. We basically get to discover about the school, the faculty, the students, to the multiple point of views in the story. We basically follow them October to May once the school year starts, and we follow them through everything that happens, all the drama that happens, the situation that happen during the school year. I have to say that, hey, bless you, bless you, bless you. But basically, I was telling you, Elin Hilderbrand, it's so extremely good at just making you feel completely inside the story that you are reading. So incredibly good at that. Also, you guys, can I tell you that I grew very attached to two characters, Charlie X and Andrew Eastman. She is a very nerdy girl and he is the bad boy. He's the bad boy and also son of the academy main owner, we call it. But I love to read about them, love to read about their story, how their relationship develops and changes through the book. It did not finish in the best way, clearly, of course, but I'm sure that they will make everything work in the second book, because as Charlie X herself says during the book to someone else, everyone deserves a second chance. Everyone. So, love this book. It's an easy read. It's a very light read that also has quite a few sensitive topics inside that makes the story even more interesting but real at the same time. So yeah, these are the 18th books that I did read throughout 2025, you guys. If you ask me my top picks, I would definitely say my husband, Weyward, The God of the Woods, and The Academy. Without forgetting, of course, also To Kill a Mockingbird. because it's truly a deep read. But yes, I would say these are my top 4 books. Having a top 4 is strange. Definitely have a top 5 or a top 3, but then we can say this is my top 5 books that I read during the year. And I also want to tell you what my Fable account said about me this year, because it's truly interesting, kind of strange I would call it, but let me tell you. It says, emotional eclectic, your bookshelf ranges from haunting gothic stories to heartwarming survival stories. The resilience you found in those books carries over into your life, helping you cope and adapt during times of change. Well, isn't this absolutely interesting? I love Fable. I love to have Fable and write my reviews there. So if you guys don't do it yet, go on Fable, download the app and follow me because it's an amazing app. I love it. It's so interesting, it's so cute, and I love to read my Fable wrapped every single year. So it's a lot of time. I don't know how much I've talked, but I talked so much for sure. But you guys, I hope you enjoyed following me in this rambling video. I love to talk about books. I want to make more videos about books next year, if you would like it, of course. So please let me know what you think, and thanks for watching. As always, just let me know which were to you the best book that you read, or if you read some of these books, which one did you enjoy? Did you read these, or maybe you read some of the other books I mentioned? I already have quite the TBR for next year, but I would say that we can talk about these other books next year during my vlogs and also during my wrap up video for 2026. You guys, as always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in person.